Did you place anybody from this organization in a home owned or managed by him?
No.
No. Did you look into it?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the extent of that? Why did you not end up placing anybody?
Our grant was expired, and we were waiting for a new grant, which I explained to him, that we were waiting for a new grant, that he would not be able to get on this grant, that I would place him on the following grant.
Okay. And was that supposed to be for this unit that we're talking about today, or was
Yes.
that a different unit? Yes. Okay. Mr. Chavis, is that all accurate so far?
That is not accurate.
All right. Tell me what your side is.
I'm a contractor and an investor, and I own several apartments throughout the Bay Area. I've used this organization throughout the Bay Area, and there was no hold-on grant. They have approximately over 15 to 20 case managers who place tenants in my different units throughout the Bay Area.
All right, so you've worked with a number of people at this organization,
Yes.
not just Ms. Thomas. Okay.
Exactly.
And she contacted you on their behalf one day about a year ago? Roughly?
It was a little probably past that, maybe
Okay.
about a year and a half, 2 years ago. She's contacted me about various tenants and do I have properties in Sacramento, Oakland, Hayward, or wherever my property is at, if I have any vacancies. And usually they contact me, they meet with me, and then if they like the unit, they do an inspection, which she did an inspection, passed the unit, and said she had a single mom with a child.
All right, so that
out
was
the
for this
building.
unit?
Correct.
Okay. So, Ms. Thomas, when you first reached out to him, what did you say?
That I was looking for a unit for a single person. She wasn't a mother with a child.
Okay, so
It
you
was
were
a
looking
single person.
for a unit for a single person.
Yes.
Was the single person yourself?
No.
No, it was a person through your organization.
Yes.
Okay. Did you go and look at it? What happened next?
I met him there. We looked at it. He gave me the key. I told him that I needed to talk and help the person move. The person had a mental problem, and she had some health issues. I spoke to Darrick, and I told him that fell through. She would not be moving. She needed mental health, and that I could either return his key back or in good faith, because I had promised him that I was going to put him in a master lease. I promised him that I was going to solicit his property for our master lease program.
What is the master lease program?
A master lease program is a contract that we enter in with owners where we go into a 2-year, 3-year, 5-year contract where we lease that property, we move people in, we move people out, we fix anything that they break, they're under our contract. So we become the tenant, and then we sublease to homeless people.
Okay. So let me ask you, Mr. Chavis, first. Did Ms. Thomas tell you that there was an issue with this particular tenant?
Never.
No. Okay.
Never.
So the next thing that happened from your perspective was what?
So Ms. Thomas told me, let me put the lease in my name because the program, they're having trouble funding. A few people were on vacation. And based on my experience, and I've housed probably over maybe 150 tenants over the years from this organization, she said, I'll put the lease in my name. Once we get funded, I will revert back to the organization. So I did that.
Why? Why was it necessary to put it into an individual's name and then move it into the organization's name?
Because where I live and buildings, and I just finished building that from the ground up. I built it, got my inspections passed, and for me, in the state of California, I don't like to leave any of my units vacant because of the homeless situation in Sacramento. If a tenant if a squatter or a homeless person breaks in, then I have to evict them, squatter rights. So for me, I like to I'd rather have a tenant or someone
You'd rather
in
have
my
somebody
unit.
on lease.
Yes, so my unit being vacant.
Okay. So, Ms. Thomas, how did it come to be that you ended up in this apartment?
The company that I work for would have never put master leases in a person's name. It takes weeks to get through. I told him the process may take 2 months. But once he was on the master lease list, that he would never have to wait that long again.
Okay.
That his mortgage checks would come on a regular basis.
Okay.
He was impatient, and he kept saying, when are we going to do it? When are we going to do it? When are we going to do it? He wanted to be on it. I thought it was a good program for him. He was an owner. He had property. We needed property.
Why would you take that risk, personally?
He said he hadn't been a part of a master lease program, which why he was so willing to get onto a master lease. The programs that he worked through, when the grants ended, everybody had to be evicted. So he ended up boarding his property up and kicking people out because the program ended and they were no longer paying rent for those people.
Okay.
So that was the experience he was having when I met him.